Deep in the forests of Finland lies a dark secret, a chilling tale of a brutal crime that has haunted the nation for over 6 decades. 4 teenagers set out for a carefree camping trip by the serene waters of Lake Bodom, but only one would leave the lakeside alive. This is the harrowing story of the Lake Bodom murders, a night of terror that continues to cast a shadow over Finnish criminal history. It was the summer of 1960, a time when the world seemed to be embracing a newfound sense of freedom and possibility. But for 4 Finnish teenagers, that summer would be forever marred by tragedy. Seppo Boisman, Niels Gustafsson, Anja Maki, and Mela Björklund were friends looking for a weekend escape. They chose the picturesque shores of Lake Bodom, just 14 miles from their hometown of Espoo, to set up their campsite. As the sun set on June 4th, the friends settled in for a night of laughter and camaraderie. Little did they know their worst nightmare was about to unfold. Sometime between the hours of 4 and 6 a.m. on June 5th, an unknown assailant launched a savage attack on the sleeping teenagers. The perpetrator used a knife and a blunt instrument, likely a rock, to unleash a frenzy of violence on the unsuspecting victims. Seppo, Anja, and Björklund were brutally murdered, while Niels was left severely injured. The killer then vanished, leaving a trail of death and destruction in their wake. As dawn broke around 6 a.m., a group of young birdwatchers stood at a distance from the campsite. They noticed the tent had collapsed, and they observed a mysterious blonde man walking away from the area. Little did they know, they had unwittingly witnessed a chilling aftermath of the night's terror. Hours later, at approximately 11 a.m., a local carpenter named Esko Oiva Johansson stumbled upon the gruesome scene as he passed by the campsite. Shocked and horrified by the sight of the mutilated bodies, he immediately alerted the police, who arrived on the scene by noon. The quiet serenity of Lake Bodom had been forever tainted, and a harrowing investigation was about to begin. The grim discovery of the mutilated bodies the following morning sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community. Local authorities launched an immediate investigation, desperate to apprehend the person responsible for such a heinous act. But they would soon find themselves grappling with a complex web of clues, suspects, and dead ends. In the days following the murders, the police searched the area for any evidence that could lead them to the killer.
That's beautiful.
The assailant had not
Like, people go out there and have some mad fun. Somebody like, cool.
entered the tent to harm the victims. Instead, they chose a more insidious approach, attacking the occupants from outside with a knife and an unidentified blunt instrument, perhaps a rock, piercing through the tent's fabric. The murder weapons, however, have never been discovered. In a perplexing move, the killer took several items, such as the keys to the victims' motorcycles. Yet the motorcycles themselves were left untouched. Niels' shoes were partially concealed around 500 meters from the murder site. Björklund, Niels' girlfriend, was found with her lower body exposed, lying on top of the tent. She had suffered the most brutal injuries among the victims. Björklund was stabbed multiple times even after her death, while the other 2 teenagers met their end with comparatively less savagery.
What the fuck?
Niels was also discovered lying atop the collapsed tent. In his witness testimony, Niels claims that the attacker was wearing black, and they had bright red eyes that seemed to glow as they went on their murderous rampage. In the subsequent days, the authorities made a critical mistake by failing to secure the scene or document crucial details. This error was further compounded by allowing a crowd of police officers and onlookers to trample and disturb the evidence. The situation worsened when the soldiers were called in to search the lake's surroundings for the missing items, many of which were never recovered.
Please, Dave.
Forensic technology in the early 1960s was limited, hampering the progress of the investigation. The authorities were left to rely on witness testimonies, intuition, and sheer determination to uncover the truth. And as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the specter of the unsolved Lake Bodom murders loomed ever larger over the Finnish landscape. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged in an attempt to make sense of the gruesome events that transpired on that fateful night. Some believe the attack was a random act of violence committed by a stranger who happened upon the teenagers' campsite. Others speculate that the murders were the result of a personal vendetta or even a targeted assassination. But
bro, it was personal. Look how they got stabbed. Look how at least that girl got stabbed up. Man, that was personal. Somebody went in, not somebody. The person that was camping with him snapped.
Despite the countless hours spent investigating these theories, no definitive answers have been found. As the case continued to evolve, several suspects emerged as potential perpetrators of the heinous crime. Among the most notable were Pentti Soininen, Hans Assmann, and Valdemar Kihlström. Pentti Soininen was a troubled young man with a history of violent behavior. In 1969, while serving time in prison for unrelated crimes, Soininen allegedly confessed to being the late Bodom.
Soininen? Pentti Soininen? Fucking weird name, bro.
However, investigators weren't able to find any concrete evidence linking him to the crime, and Soininen later committed suicide in 1969, taking any secrets he may have held to the grave. Hans Assmann, a German immigrant with a shadowy past, became another prime suspect in the case. On the day of the murders, Assmann arrived at a nearby hospital, disheveled and covered in red stains. His suspicious behavior and vague explanations raised eyebrows, leading some to believe he was the killer. However, despite his odd demeanor and possible links to the KGB, no direct evidence connected him to the crime, and he was eventually ruled out as a suspect. Valdemar Kihlström, a local man with a violent temper and a deep disdain for campers, also emerged as a potential suspect. Neighbors claimed Kihlström had been seen filling in a well on his property shortly after the murders, leading to speculation that he may have disposed of the murder weapon and other evidence there. Despite these claims and his known animosity toward visitors to Lake Bodom, no definitive proof was found to link Kihlström to the killings. In a shocking twist, in 2004, Finnish authorities arrested Niels Gustafsson, the sole survivor of the massacre, charging him with the murders of his 3 friends.
I knew it.
This unexpected turn of events was fueled by new forensic analysis, which suggested that the injuries sustained by Niels during the attack were inconsistent with the brutality inflicted upon the other victims. Investigators
he thought he got away. His ass should have ducked his taco. Got fucking loose. Left the country.
Found Niels' shoes at the crime scene, which appeared to have been removed before the murders took place, casting further suspicion upon him. The 2005 trials of Niels Gustafsson captivated the nation.
How they figured that though? They was camping. You know what I mean? Shit. Who sleeps in their shoes when they're out camping, bro? Nobody, bro.
The prosecution and defense teams battled to prove their respective cases. The prosecution argued that Niels, in a jealous rage over his girlfriend, Björklund, had committed the murders before turning the weapon on himself. The defense, however, maintained that Niels was an innocent victim, targeted alongside his friends by a merciless killer. Ultimately, the court found Niels Gustafsson not guilty of the murders, citing insufficient evidence to support the prosecution's claims. The survivor walked free, but the specter of...
Ah, damn, I thought for sure they got his ass shot. I thought they had him dead to rights. But, I mean, they couldn't really just go off of his shoes were off. Like, he took his shoes off. They was camping, shit, man. Like I said, nobody sleep with their shoes on when they camping, shit.
Doubts surrounding his involvement would continue to haunt him and the case for years to come. The unresolved nature of the Lake Bodom murders has led to continued fascination and speculation among true crime enthusiasts and the public alike. The case has inspired numerous books, documentaries, and even songs as people attempt to unravel the enigma that surrounds this grisly crime. Alternative theories have emerged over time, including suggestions that the murders were the result of a military exercise gone wrong or the work of a deranged cult. However, none of these theories have produced any concrete evidence or led to a breakthrough in the case. The legacy of the Lake Bodom murders lives on, not only in the countless retellings of the story, but also in the enduring hope for closure. Despite the passage of time, the families of the victims and the Finnish people continue to search for answers, desperate to bring an end to this haunting tale.
As I'm thinking, man, old boy got away with murder. Not once, but twice. Alright, yeah, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that one. The Lake Bodom murders. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell.